You've definitely seen a guy like this on the pitch. You pass him the ball, he's completely surrounded. Yet somehow he gets out. Or at worst, he wins a foul that gives the team a breather. Coaches love this type of player, and teammates keep saying, "Give it to him, he'll handle it." But none of this is magic. Staying calm under pressure is trainable. And today, I'm going to show you how to stop panicking and stop shooting randomly just to get rid of the ball. Here's the interesting part. That player everyone trusts, the one who never loses the ball, didn't become like that by accident. Coaches trust him, teammates look for him, even scouts pay attention. Why? Because when the match gets messy, he stays ice cold. Pressure comes, but he gives his team a few seconds to breathe. And those few seconds, on the pitch, they're pure gold. Let's be honest. Have you ever panicked when someone was right on your back? Heavy touch, cheap loss. Then suddenly the ball stops coming your way. Not because they hate you. They just don't want the risk. And nobody says it. But here's the truth. Once that "he loses the ball easily" label sticks, it's hard to shake off. Even when you're open, people look past you. I've seen it in so many players. Some are amazing in training, but once the game speeds up and the pressure kicks in, they shut down. They overthink. They disappear from the match. But it doesn't have to be that way. Because staying calm under pressure isn't a personality trait. It's a skill. So how do some players make it look like they have all the time in the world while others crumble? It's not just technique, it's the mind. Think of Moussa Dembélé. Not Neymar, not Messi. But under pressure, he looked like he was moving in slow motion. 3 players closing in, and his heartbeat doesn't even change. Because he doesn't fight pressure, he absorbs it. And science backs this up. They studied elite players versus amateurs. Looked at brain activity under pressure. Amateurs? Their brains were lighting up. Stress spikes, panic, indecision. Pros? Almost silent. They weren't thinking. They were feeling. The motor cortex was active, making automatic decisions. It's like muscle memory thinking, under pressure. I call this the ball retention mindset. Not something you're born with, something you build. But not with just cone drills. Most players treat football like a checklist. This drill, that move, done. But the ones who stand out, they feel the game. Where does that come from? Not from perfect pitches, from chaos. Tight spaces, rough streets, uneven concrete. Places where you don't have time to think. Think of Ronaldinho and Maradona as kids. Barefoot, on bumpy ground, every bounce unpredictable. You don't think about technique there. You survive the moment. That's how instinct is built. Not by lining up cones. The problem is this. Most players train in perfect environments. Then the real match gets chaotic and their brain freezes. Because they trained for control, not for feel. If you want to stay calm under pressure, your body must get used to chaos. You need to feel space, not just see it. That's where proprioception comes in. Your body's built-in radar. How do you build it? Stand on one leg with your eyes closed. Feel the micro-corrections in your body. Then add difficulty. Barefoot training. Wobble board. walking backward while juggling, dribbling around the house with eyes closed. Barefoot work matters because it wakes up the nerves in your feet. Cleats dull that connection a bit. Then comes another crucial part, shielding the ball. Busquets, Verratti, Young, Hazard. Not big guys, but impossible to dispossess. Why? Angles, leverage, balance, timing. Hazard used something like a scissor trap. He steps between the ball and the defender at the perfect moment. The defender must either foul or back off. Either way, Hazard wins. A low center of gravity equals a stance that won't topple. Bent knees, wide stance, leaning into pressure. But if you shield and freeze, you're done. Elite players constantly make micro-touch adjustments, change angles, keep their head up. Here's a drill. Dribble a tennis ball in a tight space. Eyes up, constant movement. Feels terrible at first, but skyrockets your control. Your arms matter too. Not to push, but to frame space. Cristiano used this perfectly. And finally, risk. Most players become average because they're scared of losing the ball. Coach shouts, teammates stare. So they play safe. But safe passes rarely win matches. Calculated risks do. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Mahrez, they all lose the ball. A lot. But one action changes the game. Losing it isn't the issue. Fear is. Take risks in the right zones. Close to the opponent's goal. Fine. Close to your own goal. Be smart. Lamine Yamal is a great example. Loses the ball 7 to 8 times in one half. But then, one run changes everything. Because he's not scared. He asks for the ball again. And again. Your new mindset is this. Not, what if I lose it? But what if this action opens the game? Final point. The difference between falling apart under pressure and controlling the moment comes from what you do when no one's watching. Train the hard stuff. Train the uncomfortable. Train the chaos so when the game attacks you with pressure, you don't panic. You're already used to it. Because the calmest player on the pitch is always the one who trained for the storm.